In September, the whole world is concerned about the question of what new the Cupertino company will present to us in its collider-shaped stronghold. The iPhone, a phone that is ahead of its price. But for several years now, the feeling of the feast and joy has been destroyed by total leaks of the device for a minimum of 6 months before the presentation. Unfortunately, this time Steve Jobs didn't came to this event. We can say with confidence that the new iPhone 11 Pro Max is the best flagship in the category up to $600, because it's much more expensive and therefore better. The screen. Oddly enough, it is here. The name says that it is the coolest of all that someone ever seen in the world. The most secure, most revolutionary new smartphone from Apple, according to their own statements, received a bulletproof glass that could be scratched against air, and also it is protected against water and dust by IP68 standard, which, by the way, is not covered by the guarantee, if you carefully read those marketing stars on the company's website. The iPhone X was a revolution, but not all people appreciated the simplicity of the design, with a notch and frames on which you can land a passenger Boeing 747. And since we still had a hell of the same screens from the 10th model, we couldn't resist to make the iPhone 11 exactly the same as the one that came out 2 years ago. The only difference is the new futuristic design element of the rear cameras. And yes, we did it on purpose, because we want to instill a sense of taste in users of our Apple products. But we know that you do not understand anything in beautiful things, therefore we have created all the beautiful for you.
Here's Johnny!
When you look at the back panel of the new iPhone, it seems that you might already have seen someone else have a square camera solution. But these are all dirty insinuations, and we are already preparing for a trial with them. Now let's talk about the cameras themselves. There are 3 of them, and all of them with optical stabilization. After all, this is what prevented you from becoming a new David Barnett. Also, the children shot on the camera of our new iPhone look 55% happier and 80% richer than the photos shot on some LG G8. Apparently, Apple loves mobile gaming, since it constantly shows the full power of their howler processors only in games. So, Apple must collaborate with EA Games. After all, both companies do not present anything new every year. Then, in 2020, will be the EA phone. And pretty sure you have to buy some extra pixels from the Apple Store. Price? $19.99. Next thing we see, some Chinese dude tells how they invented the compass, everyone rejoices and applauds, like 4,000 years ago. Another show us the all power of the new iPhone on the example of a game that resembles Dark Souls on minimal settings. In general, if you cut all the videos from the Apple presentation and show only the speech of the most speakers, you'll get a Samsung presentation. In fact, we wanted to go further, and just as once we removed the mini jack in the iPhone 7, we wanted to remove the power connector from the new iPhone. But our AirPower didn't come out, and we urgently changed the concept of charging future iPhones. Future models of the iPhones will get juice using your blood. You just have to make a small incision on any part of the body you don't mind and drop a few droplets on the screen of your phone. The screen absorbs your blood and it will allow to charge it at a percentage equal to the number of milligrams you have accumulated. And so that you don't have a desire to buy a prehistoric past iPhone instead of a new one, we stop selling the iPhone XS. Moreover, XS is outlawed. It is no longer covered by a guarantee or technical support. The iPhone 11 works 4 hours longer. And you too, if you want to afford it. Apple again came out with a new word which is already trying to patent: the slow fizz. That's how a typical iPhone credit buyer lives. And also, I would like to give you a hint about what we will introduce next year. If a sufficient number of dumbass consumer people buy our new devices, then the next iPhone will be exactly the same as the one that we released today. Only on it will appear the prefix S And maybe next year we will invent a revolutionary fingerprint scanner under display. Well, that's all. Thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe to the channel and share this video with your friends. See you next time.